Hello and welcome back to part number 2 of creating the Tic Tac game project. I hope whatever we have done in part 1, all of you have had the time and patience to go back on your respective systems, type, practice, change and play around with the code to better understand the concept. Anyways, just to give you a quick revision, this is where the project stands at, wherein if I go to the code, you can clearly notice that these are the different functions which we have created, where in our tic-tac-toe board class, we have created the constructor, initialization board function, to display the board a function, to place the mark a function, to check whether there is a win condition along the columns, to check whether there is a win condition along rows, and also obviously along the diagonals. Now I want to proceed from here. Now I want all of you to think. See friends, ultimately this tic-tac-toe board is created for whom? Players. Now what I am going to do is, in our project, please try to understand, first and foremost, I am going to create a class called as human player. Obviously, two humans also can play against each other. Or, to make a project even more interesting, I want to introduce another type of player called as the AI player. Obviously, there are so many games where you can play against the AI or against the computer. So, our project is also going to be no less. You should be able to play against the human player. You should be able to play against the AI player. Am I clear till here? Now, how do we go about setting this up? Please try to understand. First of all, there are two classes. Class is nothing but a collection of both variables as well as methods. Has part, does part. State, behavior. Those of you who have attended my object orientation lectures will have a deeper understanding behind these words. Now, please understand friends, I am going to create a partition, and in the has part, or the state of this object, human player, there are going to be two things which it has. One is name of the player, which is a string. Another is the mark, which is going to be a character. Mark is nothing but X or O. Great. Then when it comes to the methods, what are the actions that the human player is going to perform on the board? The first and most basic action is to make a move. I hope you will understand. The basic action is to make a move. Yes or no? But please understand, every time you make a move, assume this is the board, okay? There are some valid moves, there are some invalid moves. You can't place wherever you want. So whenever a player makes a move, it is very important for him to check whether it is a valid move or an invalid move. Is why I am going to have another method which will check whether it is a valid move, is valid move. I hope you are able to understand. Now, same is the case with the AI player. AI player is also going to have name and mark. AI player is also going to be able to make a move and is going to check whether it is a valid move. Now, how are we going to code this is the interesting part of the project. Without wasting much time, let's get started. So, I am going back to Eclipse and now I will be scrolling down, and here I will be creating a new class. I will call this class as first the human player, whose UML I am just placing here for your reference. Class human player. Wonderful. Inside human player, clearly you can see there are two variables. One is the name, so string type name. I hope this is also clear to all of you. Next one is obviously going to be the mark, which is a character type variable, character type mark. I think this is also clear to all of you. Next, what I am going to do is very simple. I need to initialize this variable. So whenever I create an object of human player, automatically while creating object itself, I want the name to be initialized and whichever mark that the human player has decided to play, either X or O, to be selected. How are we going to do this? Simple. I will create a constructor, human player spelling. And in the human player constructor, what I am going to do is, please understand, I will go, it's going to be a parameterized constructor in which I am going to tell string type name, and those of you know Java know there is a convention in Java. Within a setter, constructor is a setter, local variable names must be same as instance variables names. So string type name, and the next one is going to be character type mark. Wonderful. Inside this, shadowing problem will occur. To resolve that, we have the this keyword, so I will tell this dot name is equal to name. Next, I am going to tell this dot mark is going to be equal to mark. And if these fundamental concepts are confusing you, it is important that you go back and revise your core Java concepts. Revision is important, and you can always consider taking up TAP Academy's course if you are looking at this video and have not learned Java in depth. Anyways, follow along. Next, this takes care of human player. Now, what is the next type of player? The next type of, the next function which we need to create it, so has part is done, is going to be to make a move. So watch it. Void make move is the name of the function. Now, I want you to think for a second. How are we going to make a move? I want you to try to understand the logic behind how you are going to make a move. So, please try to understand, my dear friends, how we are going to do it. Alright, my friends, I have an empty board in front of me. Now, try to understand how you have to write logic for this make move. Okay, now assume, first and foremost, assume I make a move here. Now, to make a move here, first of all, I need to know two things. Which is the row, which is the column? In other words, this is not a real board. So in your computer, you can't put X on the monitor like that. It will not work. So you have to enter the row number, you have to enter the column number. Then at that coordinate, for example, 1, 1, computer will place X. How do you understand? So don't you think we should be able to take the row and column? But before I take the row and column and place it, I want you to think, imagine I want to place one X here. But already there was an O. Already there was an O. On top of that O, can I put X like this? 100% this is not valid, which means this is an invalid move. So don't you think before you make a move, it is always important to first check whether the move is valid or not. I hope you're able to understand. So what is the condition for whether a move is valid or not? Is why, my friends, I said every player class should have one more method, which is valid move. So before I can make a move, I need to write the logic for whether the move is valid or not. So first let's write the logic for is valid move, and then we will go ahead. Okay. Now please try to understand. I will just go here and I will tell void, for the time being I will tell void is valid move. In is valid move, think about it. For you to check whether the move is valid or not, you need to know the row, you need to know the column. So I will just tell int row. That is the first input. Next input is the column, int column. Am I clear? If I know a COL is enough. Okay. Now who will pass this row and column? I will tell you. Anyways, if I know row and column, all I need to do is, first of all, I need to check where I am placing the move. Is it within the board? Because assume I will try to place X here. Is this valid? No, it is outside the boundary. Hope you understand. So first I need to check whether the move is within the boundary or not. How do you check it? It's very simple. If in case. First I want to write the boundary for rows. Row should be greater than or equal to 0. Less than equal to 2. Would you agree? If in case row is greater than equal to 0 and row is less than equal to 2. How are you able to understand? Now the column condition is also simple. Column should be greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 2. Would you agree? So that is what I am writing. Watch it. Column, is it greater than equal to 0 and is the column less than equal to 2? Which means it is inside the boundary. Okay, now I will come inside. Okay. Now once I come inside, please try to understand. So here between those two conditions also I need to put a condition which is AND. Am I clear? This condition should also be true and this condition also should be true. Now I know it is within the board's boundaries. Now since it is within the board's boundaries, now all I need to do is I need to check whether really this move can be placed or not. To check whether move can be placed, it's very simple. Tell me, can I place a move here? Yes. Assume. This is how the board is. I'm just clearing it out for you. There is an X here, there is an O here, there is an X here, there is an O here. Now assume, is this a valid move? Yes. Why? Because it is empty. Is this a valid move? No, because there is already something there. It is not empty. Is this a valid move? Yes, because it is empty. So how do you check whether given the row and column that coordinate is valid? For example, 1 0. How do you check if it is valid? If board of 1 0 is empty, then it is valid. Yes, and that is what I am doing. If in case, okay, I will come here and I will check. Now I want to access board, but scroll on top. Anywhere in this human player class do you see board? No. Where is board? Scroll on top. Board is inside the Tic Tac class. I want you to understand, board is inside the Tic Tac class. So now I am asking you a very simple question. The board which is here inside this class, scroll down, how can I access it inside this class? It's very simple. Without creating an object, using just the class name I want to access. And tell me, please go on top. If in case I want to access this board using just class name, then this board variable should be of a certain type, and those of you who are revising Java on a daily basis know, if you want to access something using just the class name and not the object, we must declare it as static. Hence, I am going to go and declare this board variable as static. Again, this is where the core Java concept clarity is very important. Otherwise, you can't code projects. Anyways, come down. Now, I will tell using class name. See, class name is Tic Tac dot board, and I will put two brackets because it's a two-dimensional array. Here, I am going to pass row. Here, I am going to pass column. Okay, and what you need to check is it not equal to, not equal to, or maybe I will check if it is equal to space, not you remove, I will check if it is equal to means double equal to space. If it is equal to space, which means it is empty, I can put yes, hence I will come inside if, and I will tell return true means yes, it is a valid move. Otherwise, I will come outside this, else I will tell. Okay, or no need for else also, just remove this. Directly I will tell return false, because if it is valid, okay, come inside, check if it is empty. If it is empty, return true. If it is invalid, anyways you will come outside if, return false. Let us assume it is within the boundary. Check if it is empty. If it is not empty, again anyways you will come outside, return false. Now whenever a function is returning true or false, what should be the return type, friends? Boolean. So I am going to change it to Boolean. I hope this much clarity each and every one of you have got. Am I clear till here? Did everybody understand? Wonderful. Now is valid move is clear. Now using is valid move, I am going to create make move. All of you should observe. Now see, I am coming inside make move. Now think about it. To make move, first I told you, you need to take the row, you need to take the column from the user. Now through the keyboard only you will give input. To take input from the keyboard in Java, we need to create scanner. So new scanner system.in. And I will give it a reference, I will call it as scan. Naturally, scan has to be of type scanner, and also I will import java.util.scanner. Again, I am telling you friends, I am not going to explain the core Java concepts here. I am under the assumption that if you are watching this content, you have already attended the core Java classes. Next, what am I going to do? So scanner is ready. Next, what are we going to do is, we are now going to basically accept input. So system.out.println sysout, enter the row. Enter the row, okay, and column, I will tell, enter the row and column. So I want it like, for example, 1 space 1 like that. Next, in the next line, I want to scan both row and column. So scan.nextInt, because it's 1 and 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 is nothing but integers. I will store it inside a variable called as intro. I will store it inside a variable called as intro. Similarly, I will just put semicolon, duplicate that line, scan.nextInt, I will store column. Very good. Okay, now you have taken row and column. Now first thing you need to do is, you need to take this row and column, okay, you have taken this row and column, and basically you need to check whether it is a valid move. Only then you should place. Before placing, first you need to check whether it is a valid move. Now how does one check whether it is a valid move? Very simple, that is why you have given the isValidMove function. Now think about it carefully. Think from a design point of view. We are designing this game. So now it is empty. Assume I took row is 1, column is 1. Okay. Now I will check, is this a valid move? Is this a valid move? Yes, because it is empty. So I will place it. How to place I will show you, but I will place it. Next, let us assume here O is already there. O is already there. Now let us assume the next time player wants to make a move. He tells 2, 0. Already O is there. Can I place X over Rho? No. So it is an invalid move. Yes, it is an invalid move. If it is an invalid move, obviously I should give another chance to the user to make a valid move. So I should keep giving him a chance as long as he is making an invalid move. The moment he makes a valid move, I must place and stop. But as long as he is making invalid moves, I should keep giving him another chance to make valid moves. I hope this logic is going into each and every one of your heads. Now how do you do that? So it's very simple. First thing I need to do is, see the way I talk I am going to code. First thing I am going to do is, I am going to take row, I am going to take column. After taking row and column, then I will check as long as it is an invalid move. I will again give him a chance. Now this, I should keep giving him a chance as long as it is an invalid move. But the moment it is a valid move, I should stop, take his move, place it. How do you write it? Very simple. Watch. I am going to cut these 3 lines. No, those 3 lines. I am going to tell do and I am going to tell while. Hope you understand. So do something as long as a condition is true. Hope you understand. What to do? What to do is I will paste. Bring that bracket down just so that you guys can understand it easier. What I need to do is basically keep taking row and column. Then I need to keep doing this as long as a condition is true. What is the condition? That it is an invalid move. Now delete these extra lines. Try to understand. I have a function called as isValidMove. It will tell me true if it is valid. It will tell me false if it is invalid. So please understand, as long as it is invalid means, watch it. Double click on condition, remove that. I will call isValidMove. I will call isValidMove. And to isValidMove, I will pass my row, whatever is given. I will pass my column, whatever is given. Now isValidMove will tell me true if it is valid. It will tell me false if it is invalid. But I need to repeat as long as isValidMove is not true. Is not true. Correct? Not true means what? False. So see, all I will do is I will go at the beginning and put one not. So if it gives me true, not true is false. I hope you are able to understand. Okay. So here obviously you can see there is an error. Why there is an error is because row and column are inside do. Outside do it will not be accessible. So if you want it to be accessible outside do, don't declare it inside. Remove int and int from both. Int you remove and int I will remove, and go on top after scanner I will just tell int row, and I will tell int column. So now that it is outside the do block, it is accessible within the entire function. Am I clear till here? So very simple. Let me just show you how this works. Okay. So I am just removing this. So assume friends, first of all, this is the row. Row is 1, column is 1, 1, 1. What I am going to do is take row as 1, column as 1. Okay. Now what I am going to do is, next I will check as long as isValidMove 1, 1. Is it empty friends? Yes, it is empty. So what will isValidMove give me? It is going to give me true. As long as it is not true. Not true means what? False. I will come outside because it is a valid move. But let us assume X was already there here. X is already there here. I tell row is 2 and column is 1. Now tell me, I will pass 2, 1. Okay. Obviously, isValidMove will tell me false. False means not false is what? True. Which means it is an invalid move. Repeat. Are you able to understand? So now, if at all the condition is false, I will come outside. If I come outside here, it means it is a valid move. If it is a valid move, I should take the row and column and I need to place it. Am I clear till here? Now what to place? Very simple. Go on top. If you notice, to place a move, this is the function. Place mark. If I give it row, if I give it column, if I give it mark, it will place the mark. How you will understand? But place mark function is inside this tic-tac-toe class. I want to access it inside the player class, again without creating object. So without creating object, when you want to access a function, what should you declare it as? Static. So I will go here and declare it as static. Am I clear till here? Now come down. Very simple. Now using class name I can access. Watch it. Tic-tac-toe. Just auto-complete it. Tic-tac-toe dot. I will tell, place mark. And in place mark, I have passed row, I have passed column, and obviously whatever is the mark, I am passing it. Am I clear till here? This pretty much takes care of place move. How people understand? So quickly watch it. Go look at the human player class. Inside the human player class, name is there, mark is there. A constructor which initializes the name and mark. A function called as make move which will take row and column. And as long as the move is invalid, we'll keep giving him chance to make a move. And the moment it is a valid coordinates, it's going to place the mark on the board. Are you able to understand? Next, a function called as isValid move, which is going to basically check whether the move is valid or not by first checking whether it is in the boundary. Second, checking that where you're trying to place it on the board, is that place empty or not. I think this much clarity all of you have. Am I clear till here? So I think this gives us a wonderful idea. Now all we need to do is, I am going to create two objects of this human player class and see whether they can play with each other. I just want to see whether they can play with each other. Okay. So how do we do that? Let me show you. Alright. So I want to create two human players. One I will call as P1, other I will call as P2. Now follow the logic along with me. Now we have created a human player class. So I will create an object. New human player. Great. Next, the constructor will take two parameters. First parameter is name. Second parameter is the mark. So I will remove everything inside. And the first parameter within double quotes, I will give the name as maybe, Bob. Okay. And then comma, next is the mark of Bob. Let us assume Bob is going to be X. Bob is going to be X. So I will just put X as a character. I will give this a reference and I will call it as P1. Naturally, P1 has to be of type human player. Correct? Next, one more object I will create, new. Which class is object? Human player only. Constructor will take two arguments. First is name. Maybe I will call this as Priya. Okay, and next the symbol or the mark that Priya is going to use is probably O. Okay, so I will tell O. I'll give it a reference. I'll call it as P2. Am I clear till here? Wonderful. Now comes the core logic, and if you notice why I'm writing this is I'm writing it inside the main method because execution always begins from main in Java. So obviously the core logic of starting the game, making the move, all this must happen within the main method. Okay. So now try to understand. First and foremost, there are two players. But will both people play at the same time or will only one person play at any given point of time? Common sense says only one person, which means we must create a mechanism to track who is the current player. Who is the current player who is executing? So what I will do is, I am going to create one more reference, not an object. I'll just create a reference which is of type human player called as CP, short for current player. So watch it. Human player type CP, I will tell. Understood? Now, always in a game of tic-tac-toe, whoever is X goes first. Or in other words, always player 1 only will go first. So, assume this is CP. I will tell, listen CP, you now have to point to player 1 because the current player is P1. So watch it, next line. Cp equal to P1 I will tell. And for those of you who don't understand this line, it means you have not understood reference type assignment in Java. An object in Java can have multiple references, which in depth I have covered within the core Java lectures. Am I clear till here? Great. Next, what I am going to do is, now this is my current player. So whenever I want the current player to make a move, instead of telling P1, P2, I will always use Cp. Right now, who is Cp? P1. What is P1? X. First, what I want to do is, I want P1 to make a move. So how will I make a move? Very simple. First of all, I will tell sysout, and I will tell within double quotes, player 1 make a move, or else what I will do is very simple, remove this double quotes. I want the name of player 1 to come. So right now, current player is player 1 and the name of player 1 is Bob. This Bob that you have sent, if I go to the human player class, everybody knows it is inside name. So obviously, I can tell cp.name. That is how I can access name, right? So come down. I will tell cp.name. So current player's name I will tell. And I will put a plus to this. To this I want to attach a message. And I will tell goes first. So obviously I will get Bob goes first. Correct? Next. In the next line, after Bob goes first, what should Bob do? So Bob has to make a move. So what I will do is, I will not tell P1 because who is the current player? P1. Cp is pointing to P1. So Cp dot make move I will tell. Correct? So obviously, what will make move do? Go on top. Make move is now go on top. Obviously, is going to take the row and column from player 1 and then check whether it is a valid move. If it is a valid move, it will place a mark. Am I clear? Anyways. Now, next, after making a move, obviously we need to check whether it has resulted in a win. Every time a player makes a move, we have to check whether it has resulted in a win. How will you check whether it has resulted in a win? You must check whether there is row win condition, whether there is column win condition, whether there is diagonal win condition. I hope you will understand. Now, how are we going to do this? Very simple. If you go to the Tic Tac class, clearly one can notice there are 3 methods. Check column win, check row win, check diagonal win, which in the part 1 I have clarified, which again I am not going to repeat. Naturally, we need to call these 3 functions. Am I clear till here? So what I will do is, without having to create an object, I want to call these functions for ease of code. So what I will do is, I'll just make it a static, all 3. So directly using class name we can call. Check column win is static. Next, check row win is also static. Next, check diagonal win is also static. Wonderful. Static methods can be called using class name, and hence I am going to come down and see how I will write the code. I will now, after making a move in the next line, check if in case class name tic tac toe dot, I will check for column win, or next tic tac toe dot, I will check for row win. Press enter. Next, or I will check tic tac toe dot, I will also check for a diagonal win. So check for column, check for row, check for diagonal. Am I clear? If any of this is true, it means the current player, which is player 1, has won the game. So I just need to print a message. So sysout. Okay. Current player dot name. Current player cp dot name. cp dot name. Current player means what? Cp. cp dot name is whatever is the name, which is Bob. To this I will attach has won. Has won. Simple message. Has won. Am I clear till here? Else. Else means what should I do? Think and answer. Now, this is a current player. Current player made a move. Current player did not win. If it did not win, now the current player has to change. Current player has to change. It has to change from player 1 to player 2. If it is player 2, it should become player 1. If it is player 1, it should become player 2. Yes or no? Which means, now, how do we write that code? It's very simple. If in case If in case, watch it. I will check CP. CP means current player. Is it equal to P1? If CP is equal to P1, it means now current player should become P2, which means now this CP should start pointing to player 2. I hope everybody understands. So now I will tell, hey CP, you please point to player 2. Player 2. Am I clear till here? P2. Else means if CP is not equal to P1, it means CP was P2. If CP was P2, then reverse. I will tell, hey CP, now it's player 1's chance. But in this case, if I check if CP equal to P1, condition will be true initially, so CP will become P2. But next time, obviously CP will not be equal to P1, it will be equal to P2, so CP will become P1. I hope this simple piece of code everybody understood. Basically, I am exchanging the turns. Am I clear till here? Yes sir, we understood. Next what? Now all we need to do, my dear friends, is now repeat this. Now it has to tell Priya goes next. Am I clear? Okay, or we will do one thing. We will just remove this message and make it general. I will tell cp.name plus turn. Like this. Am I clear? So that, it will come Bob's turn, Priya's turn, like that. Am I clear? That will be easier. Now this entire code has to repeat. But please understand, whenever you make a move, don't you think on the screen the board should be displayed? Now how do you display a board? Very simple. Scroll completely on top. You know we have created a function called as display board. That also I will make it as static, so that easily without creating object we can call it, and it's already static. Am I clear? So come down. What I will do is every time a player makes a move, in the next line I will tell tic tac toe, because class name is enough. Dot make move. Display board. Board has got displayed. Am I clear till here? I hope everybody understood. Now watch it. Scroll down slightly. From this line till this line, this entire piece of code must keep repeating as long as somebody is the winner. Yes or no? So what I will do is, I don't know how many times it has to repeat. I know it has to keep repeating till somebody wins. So what I will do is, I'll cut it. And as it has to keep repeating, you don't know how many times, which means I'll put it within an infinite for loop. You can use a regular for loop also, or you can put it within an infinite while loop also. So see, I'll use while loop. While is read as long as condition is true. Directly I'll tell true, which means condition is always true. Inside this I will paste, which means since condition is always true, this keeps repeating. I hope you will understand. But when should it stop? When it should stop is the moment this condition, which is if in case any win condition is true, this condition satisfies, you print the winner, then the looping should stop. How to forcefully come out of a loop is using a statement called as break, and hence watch it. Inside this I'll press enter and I will tell break. If somebody wins, break, I will come out of it. Am I clear till here? I hope everybody understood. Now the larger question is, will this work? Well, for that let's execute and check. So watch it. Upon execution, it is telling it's Bob's turn. Okay. So enter the row and column. So what I will just do here is, so let us tell Bob wants to put it in 1-1. Yes. Bob has put it in 1-1. Now it is Priya's turn. Let me do one thing. I'll just double click on console and make it full screen. Good. Now Priya wants to place O here. So this is 2-2. This is 0-1-2. This is 0-1-2. So this is 2-2. 2 space 2. Am I clear till here? Next, let us assume Bob wants to place it here. So this is 2-0. Great. Next, let us assume Priya wants to place it here. Priya doesn't know to play tic tac toe. Anyways, this is nothing but 1-0. Next, I should have told 0-0. Anyways, Priya has placed it here. This is 1-0, correct? Now, let us assume Bob wants to place it here, which is nothing but 0-2. Now, before I press enter, think and answer. If X comes here, has Bob won the game? Yes, which means the loop should break and I should tell Bob has won. So if I press enter, correctly you can see Bob has won, because diagonally there has been a win condition. Definitely you guys can test it out. It will work for all use cases. I hope you're able to understand. Which means perfectly the code works. I don't want to waste your time showing different scenarios. That is why you should type and do it. Am I clear to that? So the tic-tac-toe game works as per our expectation. However, this is two human players playing against each other. What if I want to play against an AI player? I hope you will understand. Because even that AI player class was there. How to implement the AI player class? Let me show you. Now we need to code the AI player class. As you can see, AI player class has a name, has a mark, and most importantly you can notice make move is valid. Now think about it logically. This code is same as human player, no change. Is valid move same. Whether AI is making a move or human is making a move, obviously valid move logic is the same. But what will change is make move. Because in human's case, you will take input from the human, which row, which column, and you will place. But AI has to make this decision on its own. How are we going to do it? Let me show you. Let me show you how to write the code. Code is very simple. See, what I will do is scroll on top. Everything is same as human player. So I will copy this entire class human player. And I am going to paste it. And here, scroll on top, I will change the name from human player to AI player. Capital I will tell. Am I clear till AI player? Next what you may ask? Next what means name should be there, mark should be there. But the constructor should not be human player, obviously it has to be AI player. So that is the second change. Remaining is the same. Now make move, think about it. For AI, from keyboard you cannot take. Keyboard only human will give. Still the day has not come where a robot will type, which is not very far away. With ChatGPT, etc., I don't think the day is too far away. But anyways, right now we are only humans, okay? This part has to change. Where you can't ask for the row and scan it. It has to be automatically generated. So I'll remove this do part. No, just inside the do. Am I clear till here? Press enter. This is where the code will change. Am I clear? Now, how to automatically generate? Very simple. In Java, there is a built-in class called as random class. Okay. First, I am going to create an object of this random class. New random. And I am going to give it a reference. I'll call it as R. Naturally, R has to be of type random. It's a built-in class. Am I clear till here? Also, we need to import it. So, if I scroll on top, clearly you can see it has got imported from java.util.random similar to scanner. So it is inside the util package. Scroll down. Next, what I'm going to do is, here, press enter. This is that random object, references are. Inside every object, variables will be there, methods will be there. Inside this random object, there are some methods. I hope you understand. One of the methods is a method called as nextInt that I'm showing. This nextInt method will generate a random integer for you. And that random integer, you can tell what is the boundary. Automatically it will start from 0. You have to tell the boundary. How, sir? Watch it. R dot nextInt. And inside nextInt, I will now tell 3. Now you may ask, why did you tell 3? Put semicolon. If in case I tell 3, please understand what it will do is, it will generate a random integer from 0 up till 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. But 3 it will not include because the boundary is exclusive. So you will get an integer between 0, 1, 2 and correct. Our rows is nothing but 0, 1, 2 only. How do you understand? So whatever random number it gives, I will store it inside row. I will store it inside row. I will not tell int because that will be a mistake. It will become a local variable. We need this row. So row. Similarly, next line, I will tell r dot nextInt. One more random integer I want. Here also from boundary is 3. So it will generate 0, 1, 2, which is nothing but column, which I will store inside this variable column. Am I clear till here, friends? So randomly it will generate row as either 0, 1 or 2. Randomly it will generate column as 0, 1 or 2. Based on that you will check whether it is a valid move or not. If it is valid move, you will place the mark. That's it. It is a very simple AI. Hope you will understand. Obviously, based on what the human puts, it is not going to calculate whether or not the next move is the right move or not. That is a very complicated AI which requires a better algorithm which is beyond the scope of this project, because this project is just created for you to get a hands-on experience of the core Java concepts you just learned. But we will build complicated projects, don't worry about it. But I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Next, come down. Is valid move is anyways the same. Am I clear? Now come down. I'll go to the main method and let me show you how this works. So scroll up. Now this human player, I want one human player, one AI player. So the second line I will remove. New, I will create an object of AI player. Next, name double quotes. I'll call it as tap AI or TAI. I'll say tap AI. Am I clear? Next, its mark is obviously, if human is X, it is going to be O. Am I clear? Give it a reference. I'll call it as P2 itself. Remaining code is the same. I hope you will understand. Now, let's see how it works. If in case I were to execute. Observe. Okay. So, double click on it. Double click. It is telling unresolved, cannot convert from, okay, click on this line number 224. Okay, so the error is here. Maximize this. Now, why is this error? Think about it. Scroll on top. Friends, last time P1 also was human player, P2 also was AI player. P2 also was human player. Both were human players. So this current player reference which you created could refer to both the players, because both were humans and the type of current player was human player. But now this is human player, this is AI player. So CP can refer to human player P1, but it can't refer to AI player because they are two different types. How do we resolve this issue? Let me show you. So my friends, here I am clearly showing you, P1 is human player, but P2 is AI player. This is class human, this is class AI. So obviously, you have to create a reference CP, which can point to both the types of objects, both the human player as well as AI player. Now, how do we do this if you ask me? I'm just going to remove this code. Observe all of you and try to understand carefully. First and foremost, this is where inheritance will help you. Because those of you who have been attending my classes regularly know that in Java there is a concept called as parent reference to child object. So imagine this is human player, this is AI player. Do both of them have a parent here? No. But if they had a parent, then the reference of the parent can point to both types because both will be children. So how are we going to do this? Simple, watch it. I am going to create a parent class. I will call it as player, not even human player, not even AI player. I will say human extends from player, AI player extends from player. Am I clear till here? And hence please understand, now both of them are extending from the player class. Now, how is extends also read as is a? Human player is a player, AI player is a player. Am I clear till here? Next to what, sir, you may ask. Try to understand what I am saying carefully. Inheritance has few advantages. First advantage is code reusability. If you push code onto the parent, automatically it gets inherited into the child. So let's see which code we can push into the parent so that it can be reused in the children. Name, mark, yes or no? If both of them have name and mark, I will just push it into the parent class and remove it from the children classes so that you can naturally see. Anyways, inheritance will happen. So I'm just making it a little translucent so that you know that I don't have to type it. It has got inherited. Now, come to the dust part. In the dust part, two methods I will push it on top. One is make move, another one is valid move. I hope you will understand. Now think about it carefully. Make move method, think about it carefully. Should I give a body for it or should I not give a body for it? Because those of you who attended the object orientation classes know, even if I were to give a make move method here, the make move method in human player and the make move method in AI player are different. Which means even if I give a body here, this person will inherit and change it, which is called as overriding. This person also will inherit and change it, which is called as overriding. So why should the parent waste time and energy giving body for such a method which anyways the children classes will not use? And hence, my friends, I will just give the name of the method, put a semicolon, and a method which has only signature and no body is an incomplete method in Java, which is nothing but abstract. I hope you're able to see how to use the concepts in real life. Whereas isValid move, I will not put semicolon. I will write it as it is because I will give body because this body is the same. I hope you're able to understand. Okay. Now the advantage is, if in case I create current player and the type of it, if it is player, parent type reference can point to child objects, both human player as well as AI player, because this is called as loose coupling. What we had in our project is tight coupling. I hope you're able to see how to use the concepts. Anyways, how do we implement this within the code? Let me show you. So if I just bring back my editor, what I'm going to do is I will scroll above human player. There I'll create a class. I'll call this class as player. Okay. Next, inside that, scroll slightly down. These two things you cut it, paste it within player. I'll paste it within player. Am I clear? Next, press enter. Abstract void make move, I will tell. Abstract void make move. Body I will not give, so I'll put semicolon. Within a class, even if a single method is abstract, class must be declared as abstract. These rules also I have taught you. Very good. Next, scroll down. Copy this isValidMove method. Copy the full method. First, maximize it. Copy it. Next, I will go on top. I will paste it. But this one will have body. How are you able to understand? Now watch it. Scroll down. Delete those extra lines. And I will tell class human player extends from player, inherits from player. Am I clear? Obviously, name would have got inherited, mark would have got inherited. Whatever body you want to give for make move, you will give. Scroll down. But why should you again give body for isValidMove? Because it got inherited. Same thing you use. So remove this. This is only called as code reusability. You don't have to give it again. Similarly, class AI player extends player, I will tell. It will also inherit. Obviously, I don't have to give these two because inheritance would have happened. Next, come down. I'll give whatever body I want for make move. Make move of human player, make move of AI player is different. Scroll down. But isValidMove is the same. Remove it. Understood what I'm trying to say? Delete all these extra lines. Now what I'm going to do is, within my main method, I will go and think an answer. Now I'm creating CP. But what should be the type of CP? Not human player. Rather, it should be of type parent. And who is the parent? Player. So I will replace it with player. I hope you're able to understand. Now, no problem. I hope you're able to understand. If in case I were to execute, observe. Okay, I have played at 1-1. Automatically AI played it here. Next, I will play it here, maybe 2-0. Automatically AI has played it here. Next, maybe I will play it here, which is nothing but 0-1. Correct. Now next, whereas AI played it here. Okay, no problem. AI is not very good. Anyways, I will put it here, which is nothing but 0-2. And if in case I do that, yes, Bob has won. Am I clear? Of course, if you keep executing and playing with the AI, one of the times AI will definitely win against you. Am I clear till here? So, this is great. 99% of our project is ready. But there is one situation which none of us thought about. What is that situation? Let me show you. Now, what is that condition? Let me show you. I'll re-execute the program. If I re-execute, watch it, 1-1. Okay, great. AI is placed here. Next, I will put maybe here, that is 1-0. Great, AI has put it there. Next, I will put it maybe here, which is 2, 1. Very good. AI has put it here. I don't want AI to win, so I will put it here, which is 0, 2. Okay. Okay. In which case AI has put it somewhere else. AI has put it here. Okay. Now if I put it here, I will win. Oh, okay. Anyways, tell maybe 1. What is that? 2, 1, 2, 0. Okay. If I press enter, Bob has won. Okay. Maybe in this condition I could not show you. Once more I will execute. I will put maybe 0, 1. AI is put somewhere. Next maybe I will tell 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay. AI has put somewhere. Maybe I will tell 1, 0. Very good. AI is put somewhere. Next I will tell here, that is 1, 2. I'm sorry, 0, 2, correct. Okay. AI has put it somewhere. Now only remaining position is here. Now I am asking you a simple question. Assume I will tell 2, 1, but I will not press enter. 2, 1 means here. Tell me, did anyone win the game? Did anyone win the game? No. It's a draw. So, obviously what should the program say? It is a draw. If I press enter, you can notice it is now telling again AI's turn. But where is AI going to place it? How are you able to understand? In fact, what is it supposed to say? That the game is a draw. How are you able to understand? But unfortunately, we never thought about the draw condition. So, whenever somebody makes a move, not only should you check for win condition, you must also check for draw condition. And the checking for draw condition code is very simple. All you need to do is write a loop which goes through every row. And it should not find even a single space. How are you able to understand? If it doesn't find even a single space, it means the board is full and it is a draw. How are you able to understand? I think it's a very simple code to write. Let's go quickly implement it within the tic-tac-toe class. So watch it all of you. I'm going to go here, scroll on top. I'll go to tic-tac-toe class and I'll create one more function below this static. Okay, Boolean, because is draw or check draw. We will call it as check draw itself. Inside the check draw function, all you need to do is run a loop. So I will tell for int I means row, starting from 0, I less than equal to 2, next I plus plus, next columns inside every row, for int j starting from 0, j less than equal to 2, j plus plus. Inside this I will go, and all I need to check is if in case board is the name, board of ij, that is row column, okay, ij, is it equal to space? Is it equal to space? If it is equal to space, I will come inside and I will tell return false. It is not a draw. It is not a draw because there is an empty space, I can put one. But the entire loop executed, I came outside the loop. Not even once I found a space. It means there is no space. So it is a draw. So I will tell return true. Yes, it is a draw. I probably understand. Now, all I need to do is go down. Whenever a player makes a move, not only should you display board and check for win, you should also check whether it is a draw. So I will go there and add one more condition inside. Here, here you should not add in the win condition. Okay, so here before I come to else, right? So you cannot write code like that. Just remove it. Remove the else. Just remove the space. Remove the space. Let it change the player. It doesn't matter. But before the next player gets a turn, I will come here and okay, let's do it. It's very simple. First check if there is a win. If there is not a win, before changing the player, I'll add one more condition here. Else if else if, and put those brackets. So it's not a win. Now before I change the player, I will check tic-tac-toe dot, check for draw, check draw. Very simple. If it gives me true, I will come inside and tell sys out, game is a draw. I will print game is a draw. Understood? Which means very simple. Check for win. If it is a win, announce the winner, break. If it is not a win, check if it is a draw. If it is a draw, announce. After announcing, should you continue? No, you should break. So I will break. I hope you will understand. You should break. You should not continue. Okay, it is not a draw. Then change the player, repeat. I hope you will understand. Which means I'm just going to go now. And if in case I were to execute, now watch it. 1-1. Okay, next you can put maybe above this, which is 0-1. Okay, AI has put. Next maybe I will put it here, which is 2-2. Okay, in which AI is put here. Maybe I will put here, which is, 1-2, correct. AI is put here, the only remaining place is here. And if I put here, it is a draw. Game is a draw. Wonderful. So I hope this project has really opened your eyes, and this tic-tac-toe game you have been able to understand. For more such amazing projects, I want you to stay tuned to this series. Our aim is that you should minimum have 10 to 20 mini projects just in your resume, other than the 5 to 10 major projects that you would have done. Because projects is where the true joy of development lies. If you really enjoyed this video, and because we are posting some of our content on YouTube, I would highly appreciate it if you could put a like and click on the subscribe button, and more importantly put a comment below so that I can read and feel happy that it has really helped some students out there. Thank you so much for listening, all of you. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you in the next video of this mini project series. Take care, keep coding, keep learning.